Right now, there's a growing debate around Jimmy Kimmel, and raising a bigger question about media, politics, and free speech. Are late night hosts just entertainers, or are they shaping public opinion more than ever before? Let's break it all down. Everybody, welcome back to No Talking Points. Our dear friend Eddie is here with us. Welcome back, Eddie.
Appreciate you.
Um, Let me ask you before we even get into all of this, what did you think when this happened the other day? And here it is. It's Wednesday when we're recording, and we'll be publishing tonight. So this happened 2 days ago. I mean, and we talked about this. Everything changes so damn much that what we were going to talk about changed altogether, just because of this stupidity.
Politics in America is like underwear. They change every day. Okay, people should change them every day, obviously, but that's what it feels like. Every time you think that you can grasp something that's taking place, it's like, nope, throw that out. I have some new foolishness for you. So here we are, life in America.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be very honest with you. I got up in the morning, came downstairs, was getting breakfast ready, sat down with my girlfriend, and we popped on the TV. And all of a sudden, the first lady comes out and says, "Hey," and I'm not gonna try to reproduce her voice because I my voice pattern's pretty good. I can't mess it up that much. But she comes out saying he should be fired. It sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger there for a moment, but she's calling for him to be fired because the joke he made 3 days before the event, where he's talking about the mere fact that he's 80 and she was about to turn 56, which, let me just preface this. Her birthday was on Sunday. Alan Greenwood got a posting from him saying, "Congratulations on your new grandson." But he didn't even post once about his wife's birthday. Just going to put that out there. His wife, the mother of his child. You know, Eddie Munster? That child. So then he comes out and goes, "This is why we need a ballroom," which we'll get into that at a later time. But she's the first lady. Should she be doing this?
The easy answer is no. But at the same time, who is she married to? So I think that that's what
Yeah.
she's playing the role, right? When it comes to first ladies, all of them have had like different missions and goals that they have initiatives, excuse me, that they fight for. And when you think about her, it's kind of like, okay, you see her sparingly, okay. Other first ladies, Dr. Joe Biden, she was very active. Michelle Obama, obviously, Laura Bush, Nancy Reagan. You think about these particular first ladies, and there's something within the the time that they were in the White House, some type of impact that they had, right? When you look at this first lady, it's kind of like, all right, you there. But there's truly no impact. So sadly for me, when I hear her speak, it's kind of like I'm not paying attention because there's really no, I would say, there's nothing concrete that comes from anything that she's saying. So I take it with a grain of salt.
Well, I remember, was it during the first term that she took out the Rose Garden?
Yes,
That was
yes,
put
the
in
Rose
by
Garden was
Jackie
removed.
Kennedy.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Do you remember what she put in place of it?
I'm trying to remember what did she put out there.
Because I can't,
I could
honestly, I
I
can't
can't
remember.
remember. I can't remember. You're right. I can't remember either. And obviously, we'll need to do some research, but we know the Rose Garden was very important. You
It
would
was.
have children who would visit um dignitaries when they visited the White House. It was for them. They would take it in because they knew who placed it there the tragic assassination of a president.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact of her pretty much being the I would say the face of the country during that time period when her husband was assassinated.
Yeah.
The nation looked to her for leadership and
Hmm.
how she handled herself during that trying time period.
An amazing first lady. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Jackie Kennedy Onassis was a woman that was looked up to. Women wanted to be her. They wanted to be her. They reflected that all the time. I'm not going to comment who's trying to reflect her at this point. I'm going to leave that alone because it can get a little bit weird. But let's actually take this back to Jimmy Kimmel because that's what we started
Please,
here.
please,
Um,
please.
is he an entertainer or is he a newscaster? Is he a
I look at
comedian?
Jimmy Kimmel, I look at him as a mixture of all of that.
Okay.
Because he has to be able to capture our audience in a very short time period. So you have to be able to give the audience something that they can grasp to be able to continue to come back. And at the end of the day, it's about how many people are going to be viewing your show because that's where the advertising dollars come in. So I would say
Yeah.
all of the above.
Now, when you look at it, because I'm old, or at least that's what I tell myself. Because I remember sitting at the house when I was a kid, and my parents would go to bed, and I would sneak downstairs, and I enjoyed watching Johnny Carson. There was never political commentary back during the Johnny Carson days. Never.
That's true. I would You would see it. I would say the first person I really noticed who would do a little political commentary, I would say was David Letterman.
Yes. Yes.
He would do it. I remember when President Obama was first inaugurated, and that we had the whole thing that was going on with the financial crisis under the Bush administration, and one of the things his sticks he would say was if he keeps this up, he'll check himself into the one term in. And it was a joke. You know
It
what I'm saying?
was.
It was a joke. It was a joke based upon, what was happening
Yeah.
in our particular economic environment at that time.
I,
And
I
to me it was
remember it
funny.
very, very well. To me, the next one was Arsenio Hall when he had Bill Clinton on there playing the saxophone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a huge thing back then. Um,
Yeah.
but even at that point, they weren't doing the commentary that they do now. You look at all of these comedians that are on right now. Stephen Colbert, bless his heart, he's
Mhm.
almost off the air. God knows what's going to happen with him next, but I think he's going to land on his feet and he's going to come at Trump like he's driving an M1 tank and he's going to roll over him as many times as he can. And he's going to be on the internet, which means he can't be controlled.
I would say yes to that. I think that that's when you're looking at entertainment as a whole, it's leaning more and more towards your streaming aspects of
Hmm.
things. And when you're in that environment, you have a lot of more control of your content and what you can do. Look at us right now, right? We got control over our content, right?
Yeah.
We stream this for the world. Everybody liking, share and subscribe. I would appreciate that.
Um,
But again, that's what we're doing.
I'm going to put that right
Yeah.
up there. The like and subscribe thing, please go right ahead. Because I think Colbert being fired by CBS and ending up wherever he's going to end up is going to be a landfall for him because now the speech that he was restricted from having by CBS is gone. He can drop F bombs all he wants and nobody's going to mute them out. He's going to be able to do what he wants, when he wants, however he wants to do it, and nobody can do anything. Um,
Yeah. And I think when you come to it, you look at, some of our talking points that we have about this is that, you're talking about the network effect.
yeah,
How will the networks be truly affected by this? What is it that they're going to begin to, back themselves away from into fear of retaliation, right?
Yeah,
And all of this, it has to do with that. And then when it comes to the viewers, I'm going to be realistic with you. I can't tell you the last time I watched Jimmy Kimmel.
I
I
don't.
can't. I,
I don't.
I can't tell you.
I
But
catch
at
him
the
on
same
YouTube.
time, yeah, I'll catch like some some small clips that they
Hmm.
may do, some shorts that they may do over the episode. And some of the stuff I find funny, some of the
Yeah.
stuff I'm like, that's cool, that's corny. You could have kept that. But but at the end of the day, he has an audience. And I think a lot of people,
Yes.
what is the public gonna say about it? What do you think about that part?
Well,
If they do decide to take them off the air.
that's what I'm actually just popped up on the screen for everyone. What it would mean for broadcasting if Jimmy Kimmel is fired. Well, first of all, I'm looking at the slide, and at the very top, firing a late night host due to political backlash could set a dangerous precedent, threatening editorial independence across the industry. We're talking about First Amendment rights. There is free speech, or at least there used to be. So I'm going to pop the clip back up. We've got the chilling effect on comedians. Comedians and writers may self censor to avoid controversy, leading to safer, less diverse comedy and commentary. Actually, I'm going to go through all of these. Networks may play it safe and take them all off the air. That will be an end of an era because my entire life there has been late night TV. I remember at the end of Carson where the little things used to pop up and the TV was dead at that point. There was snow on the TV. Ratings, advertisers. It's going to affect the ratings. Where are the advertisers going to put that money where they know they have that controlled audience? The public trust of networks. Are you going to trust the networks? Are you going to trust the news broadcast knowing that if they feel threatened, that they will just give in? And the late night landscape, there won't be a late night landscape. It will be gone. An era will be gone because one man, and I hate to even put it this way, got his hiney hurt because of a joke. A joke. So if Kimmel goes, they'll go after the rest of them. That's a given.
And I think if they do remove Kimball, I think as you stated there, I think the other networks will kind of like censor their comedians at that point
Yeah.
and tell them, hey, this here is you can't talk about this subject matter. Anything doing with the administration is is a no go. And what that will do, that will also hinder the audience because the audience will look at it as like, hey, everybody is fair game.
Yeah.
That's what comedy is. Comedy is a fair game sport. I enjoy comedy. I love to laugh. Okay. But when you're telling people what jokes they can tell, when you're telling them that, hey, this subject is off the line, again, what happens to free speech at that point? And a lot of people had issues originally when Disney and ABC decided to take Kimball off the air in certain markets. Certain markets still had access to him,
Oh yeah.
but there was an outrage. You saw people who were canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions,
Mm-hmm.
um, and those are major markets as far as how Disney is bringing in a lot of their money. So with that, like you stated, hey, if you go down this path, there's no off ramp.
No. No, there really isn't. Because at what point do you give in to the administration? At one point do you say, hey, what the hell? Um,
Yeah,
because it sort of bugged me because now the FCC is recalling ABC's license 2 years early for them to resubmit to renew it. And they've given them 30 days. 30 days. To me, this needs to go to a federal court. This needs to be broken down to see what the hell's going on because it's retribution. He tried it
Yeah,
before. The FCC chairman said you either do it the easy way or the hard way. Who the hell are you, Tony Soprano's baker? You're not a tough guy. You're not a wise guy. You're a broken down person who is kissing up to a man who the clock is counting down on, literally and figuratively.
exactly. When you're dealing with a lame duck president, it's like, hold on. What this person says, he has no backbone behind this.
No.
And you're trying your hardest to please this person, but like you're saying, there will be retribution behind this.
Yeah. If
Because
ABC gives in, people will stop watching. They will cancel subscriptions
yeah,
again. They will boycott the sponsors. ABC will get hurt big time because the first one to give in fully, like CBS got hurt with Colbert. They
yeah.
got hurt big time.
And they're still being hurt. That's another subject matter. Uh, when it comes to CBS, a lot of the changes that they've made has turned a lot of people off, and Colbert, obviously being one of them. But they've changed the way that they report the news
Yes.
altogether to be able to appeal to a certain audience, and that audience is not there. They're not responding to
No.
them, and CBS is hurting. And with that, ABC most definitely could be next.
I've seen, and I don't want to get stuck on CBS, but I've seen a lot of their newscasters, a lot of their hosts leave. They're on YouTube now. They're on the internet. They've got their own podcast going. They've left the networks, and those
Yeah,
were their money makers. Those were the people that I would watch, that I would want to watch. Um, and ABC's going to hurt. I think right now they don't know what to do.
I would agree with that. They're caught with, again, when it comes to ratings, what ratings is Jimmy Kimmel bringing in? What type of revenue stream is Jimmy Kimmel bringing in with advertisers? Um, how is Jimmy Kimmel being used to promote uh, ABC, Disney as a whole? And is there anybody that you can put in his place? So there are so many different layers
Yeah,
to all of this, but I would say the biggest thing is, freedom of speech is being challenged.
yeah, yeah. I see if they take Kimmel off the air, that it's never going to stop. You're going to see Seth Meyers. You're going to see all these other guys that are just going to be pushed off the air automatically because Trump doesn't like any of them. Any of them.
No. Would you see Jimmy Kimball saying, like, you know what I'm saying? I can do better than this
Oh, yeah.
and walk away?
Yeah. I think that when they went after Colbert and when they went after Kimmel the first time, the rumors were that those guys, the four of them, got together and said, you know what? We can do our own thing online and pull in the sponsors and pull in the viewers and draw all that money away from all the networks. Imagine if those four guys, the four late night hosts that are out there at the moment, if they all got together and formed their own little network that's only broadcasting online, and they divide the nights or they divide the hours or they do something, I think that will drag away ABC, CBS, all of them, NBC. They're all going to hurt if these guys
Yeah.
all said, you know, we're done. I think Colbert's going to start it with the backing of all these guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, they are a cohesive team. They're a cohesive group. They support one another. They're like minded when it comes to their politics. Let's put it that way. But they're also champions of freedom of speech.
Yeah,
So with that, you're going to fight hard to ensure that your voice is not silenced, and going independent for all of them will most definitely probably be a better route to go. Less stress as well, because when you're dealing and you're working for a major corporation, there's certain numbers that you have to continue to pull
Yes.
in order to be in that particular realm, to be find suitable to be able to continue to have revenue poured into you to speak to an audience. So ABC has a lot of soul searching to do.
They do.
Um, and for Kimball himself, it's at the point, how much does he really want to fight this? And is he at the point where, hey, I can do better somewhere else?
Well, and I just popped up the slide that shows what if he's not fired? Free speech
Yeah.
precedent, keeping him set, strong president for free expression in comedy and late night. Viewer loyalty remains stronger and it brings in more people. That happened to Disney. When they brought him back on, more vendors came on, more advertisers came on, more viewers came on. I believe at that point it gives the network a confidence that you're not going to tell us how we run our company. You're not going to tell us what we can do. The advertisers definitely get a lot more confidence. There's more national attention across the board. Staying on the air fuels conversation. It drives more curiosity. And late night will keep the status quo, I would say, to a certain point. Um, and I think that's where we're at this point. That how far are we willing to let a government, a temporary government, because like we said earlier, I think we were speaking about that they're not King Charles, they're not kings. They're not in here for their lifetime, right? Even though he may want to think he's a king by the monuments and the ballroom and the Arch de Triomphe and the Kennedy Trump Center and everything else that he's trying to do. I hate to even do this, but right now, if you were in Washington, D.C., and you go to get a passport, his face is inside of your passport now. Did you see that?
That's an option. That's an option. So it's so what they're doing is for the 250-year anniversary of the United States. Okay. You can get this special passport if you want it. Okay. So it's not like you get a new passport that's forced upon you type deal. It's something that, hey, I got this for you. Do you want it? Type deal. Um, no.
I'd be afraid to travel with that. They'd see his picture and go, ah, get out,
Hey,
get
the
out.
only the only face I want to see in my passport is mine.
Mine.
Okay, they do have some other faces in there that I could whatever,
Yeah,
but mine. That's the only face that I want to see in my passport. Okay. But for some people, hey, that like we talked in the previous episode, he has those people who are committed to him, committed to his vision.
he
Those may be some
does.
of the people who will make their way to DC, and they will feel that, hey, this is a collector's item or something like that. Okay. To each his own.
I will tell you what, I think I told you earlier how much time I spend replying to comments, and I answer every single comment that comes in. I have received so many comments of people apologizing for having voted for him, for having any confidence in him. They have buyer's remorse.
Yeah, that's going around. I think every time somebody goes to the gas station here in the U.S., they having buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
They're going to the grocery store, buyer's remorse. The farmers, buyer's remorse. You can go down the line of buyer's remorse. You can even look at, like we're talking about, networks, right? You have a lot of networks that back that guy
they did.
and promoted him, and a lot of them are also having buyer's remorse as well, because you're constantly trying to make it seem as if everything is okay. And
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people are turning off network television due to the fact that they're like, if you're going to tell the story, tell the truth about the matter, how people are feeling. And just going back, to the Jimmy Kimmel, as far as being able, if they do keep him on the air, if he do the, and at the end of the day, I think it's also his decision as well if he
Mm-hmm.
wants to stay in this race. And if he does, it's like, you'll be looked upon as somebody who stuck it to the man. right? That's some of the sayings that that people will use.
Yeah.
But the network itself will obviously they will get a boost. They're gonna always look for a boost in people watching their shows. But when it comes to late night television, I was looking at a stat. I think probably the first time that this happened, and it was just showing that late night television itself is really not what it used to be. Like you talked about,
No.
with your Johnny Carsons, your Arsenio Halls. People really tuned in to those because it was a must see television.
Yeah.
Now it's really not what it used to be. And again, I can't tell you last time I watched late night television. Not that those type of shows. Again, I catch the clips, but will it hurt me if it's gone? No.
No.
But if it's removed because of this, that's a tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't honestly remember. My God, it's been years and years and years and years and years. Um, because at that time of night, I think what was it? It used to be 10 o'clock for the one show, and then Letterman would come on at 11 or midnight, and then you had to stay awake till 1 o'clock in the morning to see all this stuff. And even at this point in my life, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to commit that kind of time to it. So
I understand.
I would say that yes, again, it doesn't affect me directly, but I believe as a society, it's something that we can't let happen. If they, by the course of nature, go off the air because their viewership is down and the networks don't see themselves making money out of it anymore, fine, let it happen. There's late night hosts that are no longer out there. Back to Arsenio. I loved Arsenio Hall. It was a blast, you know, but his time came and went. I know he's back out there again. He's got another show going on. It's not on network TV, it's online. Or I'm pretty sure it's online. It's not on networks. But yeah,
Not on networks for sure.
yeah,
But you're right. You're right. Everything has a season. Let's put it that way. And when it comes to late night television, has it run its course?
I think it has.
Yeah.
I
And
truly
and
think
I,
it
I would
has.
I would agree with that. And if the networks determine the viewership isn't there, we're not getting the ratings that we would like to see. I could see them, once if they decide to keep him on when his contract is over, not bringing the show back.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see them all being gone and being online and trying something new and seeing where it goes from there. Because online, it gives everyone the option to watch it when you want to.
True, very true. And even with the services, you still have things like Hulu where you can watch it obviously at a later time.
Yeah,
But yeah, I totally agree with you. It's something that we obviously will need to pay attention to because it's something that will affect us all, especially when it comes down again to the freedom of speech aspect.
and that's my biggest problem here is making sure that it goes off naturally and it's not forced off. All right,
True,
I'm going to
true.
wrap this up real quick. Um, that's our breakdown of what's happening right now. I want to hear from you. People have been commenting, they've been hitting their likes, they help the channel, they drive more people here. We appreciate you coming in. And the offer goes back out because I've had a couple of people comment. If you want to join us on one of these, let me know. We'll have a quick discussion. I've got a third box there for another person or a fourth box for another person. So drop your thoughts and comments down there. If you want more real, unfiltered conversations like this, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. My friend, I thank you. Any closing words from you?
Freedom of speech, folks. Freedom of speech. But make sure, hey, you got freedom of speech too in that comment section. Feel free. Let us know what you think about it. Is there any points that we may have missed or maybe a perspective that we didn't think about? So please share. Also like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. join us again for the next one because there's always a next one around here.